My name is Wes Bellamy. I'm from Charlottesville, Virginia. I'm a teacher at Albemarle High School. I'm also the executive director of a nonprofit entitled Hype, helping young people evolve. Right now, I'm in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, a place I've never been before. And McDonald's brought me here because of a tweet that they saw. Someone sent me a picture of what I thought was a McRib, and I put wow with a bunch of O's and W's, and that looked disgusting. And I was encouraging everyone to never eat anything from McDonald's again. So I think you all want to bring me here so that I can actually see how the McRib is made and see if my mind can be changed a little bit. I don't know, though. I'm a skeptic.
I'm skeptical too, which is why I already don't trust an alleged investigation or examination produced by the company it's supposed to be examining, featuring people the company paid to do so. Even if the two skeptics featured here weren't being paid for every word they say and were giving their genuine opinions, this is still an investigation hosted by the company they claim to be skeptical of. At the time, place, and all other terms of this company they're supposed to be putting to task on the marketplace's criticisms. Wes actually says he thinks McDonald's wants to bring him here to see how the McRib is actually made, which means he's already conceding that there's a clear difference between his criticism and reality before he's seen anything. So forgive me for not being convinced by his introductory claim of,
I don't know, though. I'm a skeptic.
It sounds more like a poorly acted infomercial than a legitimate investigation right from the start.
I'm Grant Imahara. McDonald's knows you have a lot of questions about their food, so they've asked me to help you find the answers.
The least you could do is ask some FDA inspectors. I'd be much more impressed if you gave them free rein to take a video camera into the place of their choosing at the time of their choosing and share their findings with the world.
Are you ready to get to the bottom of the McRib?
Let's find out what's really in that stuff.
He said with faux skepticism as he arrived at the location arranged by McDonald's with a camera crew and scripted host provided by McDonald's.
What do we have here?
We have a boneless pork picnic, which is the main ingredient in the McDonald's McRib patty.
This looks a lot different from a picture that I saw on Twitter. So this is the good stuff.
This is what we purchase and bring in the facility to create the McRib.
Well, I'm anxious to see what happens next.
Yeah.
Statement that the public's negative perception is wrong, followed by an unconvincing line to insist that the previous line is coming from a skeptic. I'm seeing a pattern here.
Come on up. All right. This is the same cut of meat that we saw up in the kitchen earlier.
Have you ever seen this much meat before? There's no bones, no gristle, it's all meat.
Well, meat and huge slabs of fat, sure, but there's an awfully nice compliment you just gave to that vat of pork in front of you, Grant. I think that's the cue for someone to remind us that you guys are supposed to be skeptical, only to have that skepticism instantly satisfied.
I don't know. Let me feel one of the pieces in the back. You know, they try to hide the stuff in the back. Let me try to get one of these pieces. Let me get at the bottom, one of these pieces. There's nothing in it. Hey, this is good.
The bottom? Even if this weren't a clearly arranged promotional video, but an actual investigation, and you were concerned that they were hiding lower quality meat at the bottom of the vat, the video sure as hell didn't show you reaching to the bottom to extract that, nor does the arm of your jacket show any signs of having done so. You just reached out and grabbed another chunk of meat right in front of the camera that was at the top within arm's length and verbally suggested that you were being skeptical. And both you and the producers of this video are so untalented at doing so that it's insulting to any actual skeptical people watching. I mean, explicitly stating, "This is good." You can come up with better lines than that.
Every piece of meat that we're grinding and put it into the McRib process is visually inspected by highly trained individuals.
This seems pretty cool, I must admit. This is not like I thought it would be.
Oh, and what did you think it would be? Did you expect perhaps that every square inch of the facility wouldn't be sparkling clean as if it looked like it were brand new and freshly chromed? Did you expect that it might look like a facility that's actually been used before or regularly for processing meat around the clock? And apart from how unrealistically clean every piece of equipment is, what exactly are you impressed by? The fact that meat gets ground up and pressed into patties while workers are present? That's not what I'd call pretty cool, Wes.
So Kevin, I see there's a lot of things being mixed in there. What exactly is in there?
The only thing in a McRib patty is pork, water, salt, dextrose, which is a type of sugar, and preservatives, which are BHA, propyl gallate, and citric acid.
What an amazing investigation. We see an employee dump in a bag of mysterious white stuff, and then rather than actually show the process of the pork's additives and what that looks like, we just cut to a company representative standing in a factory telling us what goes into it. Yeah, let's just not show people the entire part of the process they consider to be the most unsettling. But wait, he said there are chemical preservatives in there. Wes, I dare you to challenge him to qualify that statement.
What are the preservatives for?
The preservatives are used to lock in the flavor all the way into the restaurant.
Oh, so that's how you keep it tasting like my grandma's barbecue.
Man, there's a lot of bullshit in that pork. The preservatives just lock in the flavor. At this point, a skeptic would likely say something like, oh, so you use chemical additives to make your food taste better through its long production and distribution process, which compromises the healthiness of the product in the interest of its taste and longevity. That's a fair admission on your part, and the majority of non-organic food grocers do the same exact thing. But instead, he says, oh, so that's how you keep it tasting like my grandma's barbecue? Wes, you must be overwhelmed with excitement about how much McDonald's is paying you for this, which as a fellow teacher I can understand. But maybe you and or your scriptwriters would give a more convincing performance if you didn't make most of McDonald's actual commercials look subtle in comparison to what you're saying about them.
We're following a recipe just like she does at home.
All right, let's see.
Really, man? He just compared chucking meat full of preservatives to your grandma's recipe at home, when the obviously exclusive point of comparison is that both of them put set quantities of something into or onto their food as or before they cook it. By that logic, they could be putting specific amounts of arsenic and toxic waste in the food and saying, well, we're following a recipe here, just like your grandma does at home. And all your supposedly skeptical mouth can do is flash a smile and say, oh, all right, let's see. I've seen sock puppets give more convincing performances than this.
After this is mixed, we're going to form it into that McRib shape. You turn around behind you, you will see where we're forming McRib in the iconic form that resembles a rack of ribs.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I never knew. I just thought it was some weird shape.
What the hell are you impressed by? It's an industrial-sized cookie cutter that presses out processed meat into a weird shape. The McDonald's host calls it iconic, and your response is, wow, I never knew. I just thought it was a weird shape. It is a weird shape, which isn't even a knock at the health or the quality of the food. A lot of people just think it's strange. And you seem to agree with that until a company representative described the weird shape as iconic. And that's all it took to change your mind? What the hell's the matter with you, man? It's as if you're only saying this because they're giving you money to.
It's like people only do things because they get paid. And that's just really sad.
We're putting a really fine mist of water on the product, so because when we flash freeze, keep it from dehydrating. Should we take a look and see what it looks like coming out of the freezer and being put in a box?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Wes, is this what you saw in that tweet?
Yeah, I think it is. But you know what? It's kind of crazy because it's different now that I know what actually goes inside of it, and I know what the process is in terms of making it. It's actually good pork.
No, it's not actually good pork. You just saw that it's slabs of meat ground up with additives to make it taste better than it really is and preserved, stamped into shapes of mini rib slabs, including the appearance of bones in this boneless meat for some reason, then flash frozen. How can you possibly say that process convinces you that it's just all good pork? You know, Coca-Cola is about 98% water. By your logic, Coca-Cola could show you the process by which they dilute their fructose corn syrup with other additives and carbonated water and say, oh, it's crazy, but now that I see the process, which we weren't actually able to show every step of, I realize that it's all good water.
Now's the time to see exactly what's going to happen.
Right. Moment of truth.
Yeah, that looks a lot different from the picture that I saw on Twitter. So.
Oh man, McDonald's is really overcompensating for this bad publicity that got spread on social media. They've brought it up 4 times now in under 4 minutes. And no shit, something cooked looks different than it does when it's frozen. The significance of the picture you saw and commented on Twitter, Wes, was that it showed people the food that they shovel into their mouths before it gets cooked and smothered in a sauce.
I've never eaten a McRib. And Wes hasn't either.
Yeah.
Whoa, McDonald's. Are you really going to mess up your own line of bullshit this badly in a scripted and edited video promotion? For no reason whatsoever, you've placed an objective lie into your own propaganda video. I really hope the quality control for your food is better than what you have for your marketing. You just wrote Wes as a character who's never actually tasted your product before, so that now that he's seen the process and tastes it, he can be wowed at how good it actually is, how much better it was than he expected, and he can become your poster boy for all skeptics who doubted the quality of your product. But he's never tasted it before, according to this clip. But if that's the case, then how could he have said this earlier?
That's how you keep it tasting like my grandma's barbecue.
Disgustingly bad writing, food, and lying. I don't need to show you the clip of them eating the food and showering it with praises. You probably knew the video would end like that anyway. Let me be clear, though, that if you choose to consume fast food, then have at it. My problem here isn't that fast food is unhealthy. Lots of things are a health risk that people enjoy, from fast food to playing sports. But that doesn't mean that I think that they should be banned or that people are stupid or ignorant for choosing to partake in them. My problem here is that McDonald's marketing is swinging for the fences with this series of videos, apparently targeting the skeptics who aren't interested in their obviously low-quality food, and the means by which they do so aren't only laughably bad for satisfying the gripes of actual skeptics and instead driving them further away, but they're also dishonest to the people who already eat there. I doubt there are many adults who consume McDonald's under the impression that it's as healthy for them as organic home-cooked meals. McDonald's primary customer base realizes that fast food is bad for them, and they're willing to consume it in exchange for the artificial taste and genuine convenience they enjoy. There's no need to additionally choke them with more bullshit than even some of the most gullible consumers can muscle down. Cigarettes remain a multi-million-dollar industry, despite all the known health hazards that come with them. If a cigarette company were to badly promote itself about how their cigarettes are actually perfectly healthy, then they'd probably get laughed into oblivion. Take notes, Mickey D's.